Okay, retired military, and then
Sure.
just again, like you just said, you couldn't sit still.
Yeah, so what got me into the legislature was Leavenworth. It's like a lot of historical downtowns. We were losing people, losing services, losing businesses. And what got me in the legislature was bringing Leavenworth back. And I've done a little bit of that. I passed this bill called the Historic Kansas Act that encourages investment in historic downtowns. But when you become a legislator, they ask you, well, what committees you want to be on. I said what any legislator from Leavenworth would say. I said I want to be on the Military and Veterans Committee, and I want to be on the Corrections Committee, because that's what we do in
Right.
Leavenworth is prisons and the military. And they put me on the Elections Committee. I'm like, well, okay. Well, if I'm going to be on the Elections Committee, I should know something about elections. So I set up a meeting with the elections folks at Secretary of State's office, and they just spent the whole day going soup to nuts through elections, everything there was to know about elections, just great professionals. The whole time I'm in there, my phone's blowing up, just like call after call and text after text. And I wasn't going to be rude, because how often am I going to have these folks feeding my head? So I kind of put my phone away. But when I got done, I walk out there on the sidewalk in front of Memorial Hall. The Capitol's in front of me. I'm getting ready to get sworn in, a few days. I looked out at my phone, and the day that I was in there learning everything there was to learn about elections was January 6, 2021. And so while I'd been in there learning everything there was to learn about elections, everything that happened in D.C. was happening. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks that I had all these ideas about what I was going to be doing in the legislature, but probably the most important thing I was going to be working on was election law, because we've got a crisis in this country and in the state. People that have just lost confidence in our elections. They no longer believe that the elections reflect our will. And I swore an oath. 25 years in the Army, I swore to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, to defend our way of life, defend our form of government. And I've been places where people no longer believe that their elections reflect their will. They don't believe in the ballot box or civil processes. They do what happened to Charlie Kirk a couple weeks ago. They pick up guns and they shoot people they don't agree with, and they kill each other. And I swore an oath. I'm not gonna let that happen here in Kansas. And so after 2 years, when you come back and you're a sophomore, they ask you, what do you want to do in leadership? I said, I want to be the chair of the elections committee, so I can work on this problem. And when Secretary of State Schwab announced he's running for governor and the seat was open, some of the people who were talking about running were not interested in restoring confidence. They were the kind of people that have been, going around, sowing suspicion in our elections to further their political careers, and I thought that was really dangerous. And so I decided to throw my hat in the ring to serve Kansas as their Secretary of State.
Okay.